Daria, welcome back to our podcast. We had such a good time the first time that we thought we must have you back, and we found a really good excuse for having you come back again. And you really surprised us because when we did the first podcast, we were just going along, and then suddenly you started singing the Roberta Flack song.
Yeah.
Sorry. With his fingers.
And then you said, "Oh, I can sing if you want."
And I can sing a little bit if you want.
Yes, we want that. And the last 10 minutes of the podcast, it completely changed. And I said, "How are you with a cappella?" And you said, "For me, a cappella is amazing." How are you with a cappella?
It's amazing for me.
And then we just went from there, and we had such a good time. We had so much fun.
Yes, I had so much fun. I was nervous initially because I'm a nervous person. Oh. And I was like, oh my God, okay, it will be good. It will be good. And when I started singing, all the nervous emotions that I had went away, and it was amazing. And I had so much fun. And thank you so much for having me again. It's a pleasure for me, and I have some surprises. So.
Oh.
Stay tuned. Musical ones.
Yeah.
Great. Now, about a week after we did the podcast, I was reading a comment, and someone said that they never heard Amy Winehouse do the same version twice. Every time she did the same song, she had a different version. And it got me to thinking, Daria Stefan is a specialist in jazz, and she's going to study jazz at university. Maybe she can do this as well. This is what we are doing today. We are going to hear one song, and we will hear an Angelina Jordan song, and then you will give us 3 different versions from your great jazz imagination.
I will try. I will try my best because I have some songs, very popular ones that Angelina sang, and some of them can be sang in multiple ways, like for example, Summertime. We have Summertime tonight. There will be a ballad version and other 2 versions, very different ones. I can't wait.
Would you like to start by singing 3 different versions of Summertime?
Of course. I think it's the best to start with the original one that everyone knows.
Do you have 3 versions of this song? Is that correct?
I have the original one, the ballad one, and I have bossa nova one, and the funky one. Okay. Something new that I've never tried the funky one, but for this podcast I will try. Okay. So it's a surprise for me too.
Okay.
Trust me. And the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Your rich, and your mind's good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings you're gonna rise up singing. Then you spread standing by. Don't you cry. Don't you cry. Thank you so much.
You do something which I've noticed the last time. For example, just now, when you said the word hush, you said it the way a mother would say it to a little child. And when you sang Fly Me to the Moon, the way you said kiss, you made it sound very delicious.
Darling, kiss me.
Is this just being spontaneous, or is this a technique that you learned in school?
No, it's spontaneous.
Okay.
For me, it's spontaneous. As I said in the last podcast, I like when I sing a song to analyze it. And I like to know what's the message, what's the emotion that I should share with the person that is listening to me. So that is analyzed. But what I'm transferring to you is on spot.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you feel each word when you sing?
Yes, I do.
Wow.
Yeah, that's cool.
That must be a very special talent. And does that excite your singing, or does that make you tired? Do you find that a strain?
I feel like it's giving me a lot of energy, positive energy. And for me, it comes naturally. I don't know. And I feel like when you are singing, you should feel what you are singing. And then you should transmit something. Because otherwise it's not music. It's just saying some words without meaning, just saying them. Yeah. And I feel like music is a way of expressing emotion. And that's the main purpose of it.
Yeah, I think that's great said.
It's strange for singers to just say some words and not feel them and share the emotion.
When you study jazz at university, do they tell you to try and feel the words, or you can either feel it or not feel it?
It's complicated because at the university I studied jazz with 3 different teachers. And each one of them teaches us something different. One says you should listen to more versions of the songs and you should copy them, but then you should bring your own version. And another teacher says you should sing only your version, nothing from somebody else. So the opinions are
different.
Divided. They are different, and I like to follow my heart in everything that I do. So what I feel like is the best and what I feel like doing, that's what I will do. Of course, I listen to the suggestions that my teachers have, but when I sing, I like to just be myself and do what I think is the best while I'm singing.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you sing, Daria, you have your eyes closed a lot.
Oh, yeah.
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 What
Ballads.
yeah. What do you see in your mind? What do you picture? Where are you at?
Usually when I have my eyes closed while I'm singing, I like to just imagine the song like a movie. So I have a movie inside my head while I'm singing. And this song is a little bit sad because the first time that I sang it, I think I was 16, and I did not know what the real meaning of the song was, and I was singing it like normal. My teacher was like, do you know the real message behind the song? And I was like, no, it's Summertime's a sad song because the harmony of the song suggests that and the lyrics. But he told me the story of it, and I was like, okay, so we need to really focus on what I should transmit on these songs. But I think now I understand more the song and the meaning of it, and I share something else. I'm more mature to understand the song and to know what. I had an experience at the university when we have a list of songs that we learn in each semester. And one of the songs for this semester was a song that I studied and I learned when I was in the 9th grade in high school. I think it's the second song or the third song that I learned. And I knew a version of the song and I sang it with my high school teacher multiple times. And when I got to the university, they wanted a different version of it, and I could not sing the original one. I was so invested in mine and how I sang it that I could not sing the original version. And I was like, oh my God, I can't. And my teacher was like, try again. I was like, okay, I will try. So it's very hard once you learn something to do it differently, and especially in music.
It's the same when you listen to songs, and if you have a favorite artist and you listen to that song, it's always difficult to like another artist version of it.
I agree with you.
What do you say, Alan? Do you have any favorite artists?
I like Angelina Jordan.
Of course.
And she does a wonderful Summertime, but the Summertime version from Nina Simone I thought was spectacular. Are you familiar with that?
Yes, I listened to it.
And the living so easy.
Yeah, it's so smoky. It feels like you're in a jazz club underground, that atmosphere.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same. In a jazz bar, I think 12 p.m. or 1 a.m. like this, tired after a hard week, with a drink in your hand and just contemplating life. That's the same. As I was saying, I usually have a movie inside my head when I'm singing. And that's how I usually sing, with a movie inside my head.
And you said you analyze how you should go about interpreting a song.
Yes.
What is that like? What kind of decisions are you thinking about? Could you describe that?
As I said, the process is very complex.
Yeah.
And after listening to multiple versions to know how other famous singers sing the song, I like to take the lyrics, to read them, and to just think about each word and what the person that wrote the lyrics wanted to say with those lyrics. And I think about each word, and I usually like to analyze every word and then to try to make the song complete after I learned the harmonies of the songs with the help of the music score.
I think we're ready now for your second version of Summertime.
Oh yeah. To trust me. Let's see the other version. Summertime and the living it's easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is shine. One of these mornings you're gonna rise up singing. Then spread your wings and you'll take to the sky. But till that morning there is nothing can harm you. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. Sha-dip-dee-dap-dee, sha-dip-dip-dee-dap-dee, sha-dip-dee-dap-dee, Summertime and the living it's easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is shy. Your dad is rich and your mom is good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings you're gonna rise up singing. Then you spread your wings and you'll take to the sky until that morning. There ain't nothing can harm you with daddy and mommy standing by. Standing by. Thanks.
Great.
It's the first time that I sing this song as a bossa nova. Yeah. It was a challenge.
Wow.
Daria, the middle bit either was scat or Romanian. I think it was scat.
Yeah, that was scat. And it just came naturally, so it was on the moment, on spot.
So is that like just improvised on the spot then?
Yeah, just improvise on spot based on the harmonies that you hear on the piano or on other instruments, and based on any syllable that you want.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what comes to your mind to use it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So that's the creative part of jazz.
Is that actually something you can learn, or is that just something that you have within you?
It depends on the singer, because for me it comes naturally. Since I was little when I was singing, I did not know any music theory or something. I was just singing by ear. And every time I was listening to a song, I always wanted to change the song, the melodical line. And for me, it came naturally. I did not have any studies back then. And it was just like this. I was singing and I was like, okay, let's change this. But nothing planned, nothing with a crayon on my hand. And, okay, this note is here, let's change it there. Something on spot. Yeah. But now I know a little bit more. And for example, at university, they taught us how to scat correctly, to use some syllables, the ones that Ella Fitzgerald used, and to use them based on what we hear. And for example, the challenge for myself was to learn Didi Bridgewater live version of Song for My Father, a 2-minute long improvisation. And I was like, oh my God. And I was supposed to write it by hand and then sing it. Wow. It was a challenge for me.
Yeah.
Daria, the first Summertime you did was slower. It was a ballad.
Yes,
and
a ballad.
You were able to feel each individual words. Now, when you do a faster version, which like the bossa nova, do you feel it in the same way, or do you not have time to feel it in the same way?
I think I don't have time to feel it the same way, and the rhythmic part of a song is very important because it can change your mood totally. Yeah. When you hear a slow instrumental, you have a different, how should I say, feeling. But when you hear this bossa nova rhythm, it's hard to just focus on the line and to sing a sad song. The emotion of the song changes entirely.
And now we have something which is funky.
Right? Yeah, this is the biggest challenge, the funky one. I like this version of the song, with the trumpets and everything. Summertime and living, it's easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is shy. Your dad is rich and then your mom is good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. singing. Then you'll spread your wings and you'll say to the sky. But till that morning, there is nothing can harm you. With daddy and mommy's sailing by, Shum de ram dum de ram dum de dum de shum de rum dum de shum de dum de shum de shum de shum de ram ra de ra pa shum de summertime and living is easy. Let's hear you.
I don't think so.
Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Your dad is rich, and your ma is good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you
You- You're such a natural, Daria.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
This is like breathing in and breathing out for you. This is the easiest thing.
Betyr som å puste for meg. Eller jeg bare elsker singing.
And in English, we say that this is like shelling peas.
So impressive. So impressive, really.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You should try to improvise on jazz.
Okay.
You'll see that it's very easy.
I think you have to have it in you somehow.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think you can try to,
Yeah.
and you'll see how much fun it is.
Yeah.
No, it's fun just listening to you. I don't think I could stand more fun than just listening to you.
I'm happy to hear this.
Do you have another song that you have 3 versions prepared? Or
Of course, I have more than one.
And
Oh.
what songs do you have?
I have Autumn Leaves in 3 different versions. I
Yeah.
have All of Me. This is one of my favorites. I think in every jazz concert that I have this song,
The Billie Holiday All of Me or the John Legend All of Me?
the jazz one.
Of course.
I can sing that one too, but I think different versions of the same song. Cause all of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. Okay.
Are you familiar with Angelina's version of when she sung that song?
Yes, I'm familiar with it. Amazing.
Yeah.
I thought it was amazing too. The tone is so velvety.
'Cause all of me loves all of you. Loves your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections.
For her, it's natural.
I know.
When I listen to her, I can't find the moment when she's stressed vocally, when she tries to sing something that she is not supposed to. For her, it comes naturally. Every word that she sings and every sound that she sings, it's 100% natural.
But could you say the same about yourself? When you sing, it sounds very natural. It sounds like you don't strain at all. So is the same also true for you?
Yes, I believe too.
Isn't that a thing that you have to be careful about how you sing? Because you're going to have a career that you need your voice to be good, like 30 or 40 years, and then you have to develop some kind of technique so that you don't strain your voice. Isn't that true?
It's true. This instrument is the most sensible one because you can do something wrong once and you can lose your voice, and it's a little bit stressful to constantly think about this. But as you said, Pontus, you should focus on how you sing, and when you feel like you are not singing correctly and you feel like your vocal cords are itchy or you feel like it hurts, you should stop and try going to a doctor and try to sing in a different way because it's very dangerous.
I know Angelina did a performance of I Have Nothing with Whitney Houston when she had a cold. And she changed up the version so that it could more easily be sung in a way that didn't strain her voice.
That's what a real artist should do.
Yeah,
When you want to sing a song, but when you are not vocally able to sing it, you should change the tonality and the way you sing it. She did the best thing.
Share my life, take me forward, 'cause I'll never change all my colors for you. Take my love, I'll never ask for too much, and just there you are, and everything that you do.
And when Angelina was 9 years old, she did a version of I Put a Spell on You, and she growled and she rasped, and she did not repeat that. I think she may have had some professional advice that this was a way of ruining her voice, especially because she was so young.
It's very dangerous. Those sounds are, I believe that they are not natural made. And when I was little, I did the same thing. I think I covered the song I Put a Spell on You when I was 10 or 11, so 2 years older than the age that she was. And I made the same version, and it was like, oh my god, no, that's not good. So
I put a spell on you because you're mine. Because you're mine. Because you're mine.
I think she understood that's not okay to do it frequently. Okay, maybe once in a performance when you feel like doing it, but doing it constantly is not okay for the vocal cords.
So are you doing All of Me with a ballad and a bossa nova and a funk, the same, or three different styles again?
For All of Me, I have two versions.
Okay.
I have a ballad one, a slower one, and the original one of Ella Fitzgerald's that all of me, why not take all of me?
Okay.
A fast one.
Yeah, cool.
So it's still a swing, but it's considered a fast because the tempo is above 100 beats per minute. So it is considered fast.
Yeah, and how have you prepared these songs?
I did a little bit of research.
Yeah.
And I looked, I think, for each song I looked over 20 versions and I picked the ones that I thought
Okay,
are the best ones.
so you could find instrumentals to base
Yeah.
it on. Yeah, okay, that's cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's something different when you sing live with a band.
Yeah, of
but
course.
when you can't do this, the instrumentals are very good.
Yeah. And which one do you prefer, the slow one or the original?
I think the slow one. Because I usually like ballads. I had this thing since I was little. I when I started singing, I did not want to sing songs that were fast pop songs. Dance for me, I did not like those kind of songs, and I always wanted to sing Christina Aguilera songs. I started singing when I was 8, almost 9. I sang Hurt and You Lost Me, and
Seems like it was yesterday when I saw your face. You told me how proud you were, but I walked away. If only I knew what I know today. Ooh, ooh.
these sad songs and ballads, and those were my favorites since I was little.
Yeah.
And I think I would remain a fan of the ballads.
I think you have a lot of things in common with Angelina Jordan then.
Seems like it was yesterday when I saw your face. You told me how proud you were and walked away. If only I know what I know today.
I know we went to a concert and Alan was there too
How
in Norway.
nice.
Yeah, and before they did a sound check, and I listened into it, and she told the band, "No, a little slower," and they did a little, and then she said, "A little slower yet," and then she was happy.
That's me when I'm singing with a band.
Yeah, you need to slow it down.
Those that are singing an instrument, they usually want to sing something that fits them the best, and usually a saxophonist or a pianist or a guitarist, they usually want something that they can be remarked, something that they can shine through.
Yeah, okay.
And for them, those fast beats are the best, because that's how they can be a star and improvise
Yeah.
on a fast beat. And I had many concerts or jam sessions when I was like, okay, I want to sing this song and in this tempo. And of course, as Angelina, I wanted a slower version. And they were like, no, let's do something a little bit faster. And I was like, please, slow. And I was like, okay, this is the beat. 1, 2, a slow one. I started singing. After 2 verses, they were like, tuk, 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 faster, 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 gradually faster. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay. Usually the singers prefer a slower version where we can show our voice and where we can shine, but they usually choose a faster beat.
So we have 2 versions of All of Me now.
I should start with a slower one. In a jazz club,
Yeah.
with a drink in your hand, with a love person. All of me, why not take all of me? Baby, can't you see I'm no good without you? Take my lips, I never use them. Take my arms, I wanna lose them. Your goodbye left me with eyes that cry. How can I go on dear without you? You took the part that once was my heart, so why not take all of me? As I said, just imagine being in a jazz club in 1930s, somewhere there, because the song was released in 1930s, and just seeing Ella Fitzgerald on stage singing this song. All of me, why not take all of me? Baby, can't you see? I'm no good without you. Take my lips, I never use them. Take my arms, I wanna lose them.
That's great.
Great.
That's great.
Really great.
You know,
Yes.
it's unusual for a non-singer to realize that a singer like yourself, every single word you come to, you make a different conscious choice. And it's not just tra-la-la, it's
Yeah.
every word you stroke and you caress and you shine and you put in the shade. Every word is a different choice. It's amazing how you can do that.
Yeah, thank you so much for the appreciation.
Yeah.
No, it's true. It's true because we hear that. We notice this with Angelina, and we also notice this with you. And in English, we say this is a very labor-intensive way to sing, but of course for
Yeah.
you, it's natural.
Yeah. Thanks God it's natural.
Yeah, yeah. And now we're doing a faster version of all of
Yeah. The original one.
Okay.
And as I was saying, most of the songs that I will sing tonight, the jazz songs, they are from a period of jazz music called swing jazz. That's the period that started, I think, in 1930s and almost till 1950s. And that's when the big jazz bands appeared. I believe, and I think this is my favorite period of jazz music. Yeah, it's pretty interesting,
Yeah.
the history of jazz music.
And do you study that at university?
Yeah,
did that?
I studied this in high school, and I think in the next semester I will study at the university too. So I can't wait.
Okay, so you're still in school?
I'm at university. Yeah.
How many years is that?
For the music university, 4 years,
Okay.
and the other 2 years, the master. So 6 years.
6 years total.
Like the medical university.
Yeah, it's amazing.
The same period.
And how old are you now?
Now I'm 19.
Yeah. And when you graduate, how old will you be then?
If I will do the master,
Yeah.
I think, oh my God, 26.
Well, you'll be famous by then.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I'm sure of it.
And so you studied Glenn Miller and Duke Ellington and Count Basie, and all of these are like very common to you, right?
Yeah, for me they are pretty common because I studied them at high school.
Oh, okay.
But I listened to them before I started high school, of course. But when I started high school, I learned more about them.
Yeah.
Back then I was just listening to them and, okay, this sounds very good, I like it, but I didn't know anything other than that I liked it. So let's hear the second version of the song. As you can see, a more upbeat one.
Yeah. Yeah.
All of me, why not take all of me? Baby, can't you see I'm no good without you? Take my lips, I never use them. Take my arms, I wanna lose them. Your goodbye left me with eyes that cry. How can I go on do without you? You took the part that once was my heart, so why not take all of me? all of me. Why not take all of me? Baby, can't you see? I'm no good without you. Take my lips, I never use them. Take my arms, I won't understand your goodbye. Left me with eyes that cry. How can I go on till without you? You took the part that once was my heart, so why not take all of me?
Whoa!
Thanks.
Yeah. We're getting a real concert here, Alan.
We're lucky.
Yeah.
I am lucky that you can hear me and listen to me.
It's so easy and so natural for you. And could you do 5 or 10 different versions of the same song? Is there a limit?
It depends because mostly the version that you sing is based on the instrumental that you have. Because as you heard at the summertime, if you have a guitar and you hear those chords and the rhythm, you sing a version. When you have trumpets and the saxophone and the drums, the whole mood changes. So it's hard to change it without an instrumental like this, just singing it. When you have the instrumental, it's different. And then you can make different versions.
If you were doing a cappella, you would be more limited to the number of different versions you could do.
I believe, yeah, that's my opinion. Maybe I'm not right, but that's how I feel about it.
Angelina is also rearranging. Is that something that you also are into?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
For example, when I first covered the song Autumn Leaves, I sang it with my jazz teacher from high school. And he's a pianist and a violinist, and he was like, okay, let's see what we can do with this song. And we both came with the idea to change it entirely.
Yeah.
We began with a French version, the ballad, the French one, and then we changed it, still singing the same song, but with a faster tempo, and then changing the melodical line and everything. C'est une chanson qui nous ressemble. Yeah, I like to rearrange songs and to sing them differently.
Okay, Daria, you've convinced us. We have to
For
listen
Autumn
to
Leaves.
Yeah. You've sold us on Autumn Leaves.
Yeah.
1 point for me.
Yes, definitely. 0 for us.
You still have time.
I get a feeling that you love to sing.
Just a feeling.
Just a feeling.
So many of the people who watch this podcast, they will be 40 years old and 60 years old. And you are 19. And you have the essence of youth. You have captured the youth and you shine it like the sun. And it is so refreshing for us older people to
I'm happy to hear this.
No, it's very refreshing. And
I hope that I do not exhaust you.
No, we're only talking, so talking is not exhausting.
And listening to jazz music.
Yeah. And I mean, your enthusiasm is contagious, I think.
Thank you so much. I'm still wondering where the energy comes from. And I'm still full of energy. When I'm singing, I receive from somewhere a lot of energy.
That's amazing.
Yeah, your enthusiasm, Daria, is a gift.
Yeah.
And we appreciate your enthusiasm, and it's what makes you a great singer, and it's what makes you wonderful to interview.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to hear this. I'm usually very shy.
You can't tell.
I don't believe you.
No.
I don't believe you.
And I'm even shyer when I'm speaking in English because it's not my first language, and I'm like always, okay, let's not say something wrong. Let's try our best to not embarrass ourselves.
You have not made a single mistake in the English language, Daria.
Thank you. You are kind.
It's true. It's true.
Thank you so much. Let's hear it. The autumn leaves drift by my window. The autumn leaves of red and gold. I see your lips, no summer kisses, no summer hands I used to hold. Since you went away, the days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter song. But I miss you most of all, my darling, when autumn leaves starts to fall. C'est une chanson qui nous ressemble. Toi tu m'aimais et je t'aimais. Nous vivions tous les deux ensemble. Toi qui m'aimais, moi qui t'aimais. Mais la vie sépare ceux qui s'aiment tout doucement, sans faire de bruit, et la mer efface sur le sable les pas des amants désunis.
Oh, that was so beautiful.
Wonderful.
So beautiful.
When you had the teacher a year or two ago teaching you about the song, what did he say?
Well, he was. I came with the idea of singing this one, and he was like, okay. And it was a challenge because I wanted to change it, and I was pretty lucky that he was open to these changes, and it came amazing. And you can find this version of the song that I made with my teacher on YouTube on my channel, and it's interesting. It's very unique.
I think our French listeners will be very happy that you sing in French. Is it an advantage to be a singer when you're studying languages? Is there a connection there between singing and...
Yeah, it's very interesting when you are bilingual or polyglot, because you think in different languages. Sometimes I'm thinking in Romanian and in English, and sometimes I switch from Romanian to English without noticing, and it's different, and it's interesting to sing in multiple languages. I sing in Italian too. I don't know a lot of Italian, but I know how to sing in Italian.
Yeah, okay.
Daria, you are a great guest. It's wonderful to have you on this podcast, and you're like a flower opening up in front of us, and we're just marveling at what you do and how you do it. And I have some homework, and my homework is to think of how we can invite you back for a third time.
I had such an awesome time the last time and now, and it's amazing because, as I said, I'm usually very shy, and I'm shy, and it's hard for me to open, but with you it comes naturally. It's like talking with my friends that I know for over 20 or 30 years, and it's something very nice.
It's great. Okay, so my homework is to think of a fun, original way of having you back for a third time, and if you can think of something, then we are open to any suggestion you have.
Oh, of course.
You
More
don't have to
songs.
Okay. You don't have to decide now. You can think about it for 10 minutes or 20 minutes. You don't have to give us an immediate answer.
Oh my God! But the answer is yes. I want to come
Okay, cool.
at
Yeah,
the
great.
third.
Okay.
Me and my parents have a special relation, and we joke a lot.
Yeah, that's fun. That's
Okay.
great.
Maybe next time you can do a duet with your father and then a duet with your mother. And
Oh
then
my god! You want to lose the subscribers or what? It's not a good idea. As I said, my parents do not sing, so it's not.
Yeah,
okay.
that's cool.
Okay, Daria, this has been great again. Thank you, Daria.
Thank you so much for having me again. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
You're a star.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Ciao.